Hello and welcome back to the Dawn of the Zeds 2nd edition playthrough. We are about to begin turn 32. Let's find out what's going to happen this time. Oh wow, we are starting to get some pretty decent cards here. Another hero arrives. That sounds good for us. The first, of course, is Raider Movement. These Raiders now, Bubba's band, I think they're in for a little bit of trouble. They are going to move into the nuclear plant space with this massive 14 strength zombie horde, and they are only 3 strength. The infection level will rise 1 from 3 to 4. And let's find out how badly they do. So they're attacking at the lowest 1/3 table, so they might actually annihilate themselves. Let's find out. Well, they roll an 8, so an 8 over here on the 1/3 table. Indeed, they actually take 2 hits and they do no damage to that massive zombie horde. So goodbye, Bubba's band Raiders. They get annihilated and disappear from the game. So I wish they would have done more damage to the Zeds, but they didn't. Okay, that was the Raider movements. Now it's time to move the Rangers if we want to. I think I'm still going to leave the Rangers there. And now it's Refugees movement, and we don't have any refugees. So now on to the Outbreak. The Outbreak phase is no. And Consume Supplies, we just have the 1 full-strength civilian, so that is a no. And now we're into the Zed movements. The first Zed movement is up here in the forest track where we do not have any Zeds. Nothing's going to happen there. The next Zed movement is going to be down here on the suburbs. And we have this zombie horde 9 strength moving up to the bridge. And I forgot to put the chaos marker on last turn, but I would probably have forgotten to put it on this turn as well. But it should be one here at the bridge is a named space. So that is the suburb track movement. And now we are going to go down to the tunnel track, which probably will be the most exciting part of this, because we have 3 Super Zeds down in the tunnel track. Now the first thing I'm going to do is look at the Dread Zeds and determine what's going to happen. They are in a catacomb space, so let's have a look. A 4. That is actually good. A 4 in the catacomb space means they just stay there. So they're kind of stuck there at the moment. Had they moved, they would have jumped from this space over to the mine space, because there's 3 Zed units here and there's none on the mountain track. But they didn't move at all. The next to move are the Leapers. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this card on the Leapers, and it's, yeah, they fell for it this time. What it means is you may use this card once anytime during the Zeds phase, which is now only, to cancel 1 Zed unit's move for the phase. So basically I'm canceling the Leaper's move. They're not going to move. And it says it recovers 1 hit. It's not damaged, but anyway. And you must roll a 1d6. And on a 1, 2, 3, you keep the card. On a 4, 5, 6, you discard the card. So let's roll a dice and see if we get to keep that card. So we'd use it again, or whether it goes away. And our little trick fooled the Leaper Zeds once, and we're not going to be able to use that again. Okay, that was the Leapers, and now it is time for the Were Zeds. Now the Were Zeds also move 2 spaces. They do it 1 space at a time. So their first move, and there are 3 Zed units here, and there are 2 Zed units here, so it will not cross tracks. So its first move is going to move into this catacomb space. So that's move 1. The second move now, we have to determine what's going to happen. And it rolls a 2, which means it will move normally. So it moves normally into the Dr. Martu space. And I don't think it can actually move, because in the tunnel track you can only have 1 Zed unit because of the, I guess, the confining space. You can have more than 1 Zed unit in a catacomb space, but you can't have more than 1 Zed unit in a named in another tunnel track space. I believe that's the rules. If that is not correct, I'm sure somebody will comment. So for now, unless it's incorrect, I say the Zeds cannot move normally. They can't coexist in that squishy space with the leapers. Had they, or if the rule is in fact that they can move into that space, then they will actually end their turn there and they will damage the leapers once, because that's the Zeds just chew on anything in their space. And then we'll have the two of them together there. So I will need to check the rules myself. I'm going to determine they don't move right now, but it may in fact be incorrect. So what will happen, they'll move and do 1 damage, and that will be the end of the Zed movements. Anyhow, so we'll figure that one out for turn 33. And now we get 3 actions, and it says at the beginning of your action phase, place 1 available hero unit of your choice, not a hero has already been eliminated, i.e. Pickles, in the town center space. Well, I think it's time for a sniper to show up. So I'm going to have Captain Piazza show up. She's an elite sniper. It says this hero is assigned for her gunfire fighter value for ranges only regarding her condition. So basically, depending on how many spaces away she is from Zed units or raiders, determines her strength for shooting. And you can see if it's 3 spaces away, her gunfire value is 3, and she can also shoot 3 spaces away, which is great. If she's 2 spaces away, her gunfire value is 4, and if she's adjacent, her gunfire value is 2. This hero may move 1 additional space, so she's fast. She can move 5. And it says booby traps. When a Zed unit enters this hero space, she may roll a 6-sided. On a 4, 5, or 6, trap is sprung and the Zed unit suffer 1 hit. And this hero retreats, evasion. Otherwise conduct normal hand-to-hand. So she's a pretty decent unit to have. We'll add her into the town center. And I will need to find her token here. So, oh, here she is. She is now in the town center. She's bright red. She's a military unit. Sorry for that delay. Okay, that now was the beginning of the action phase. Now I have 3 actions to perform. Now what I'm going to do for my first action is I'm going to use the news helicopter we found quite a while ago. It says play during your action phase. It's a hero's action move to move a hero unit from any track space to any other track space. Now technically I'm assuming the town center can be considered a track space. It is not really a track space, but it is all spaces connected to it. It's the only thing here is does not apply to the tunnel, so you can't airlift somebody from the tunnel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Doc Seaver, and I'm going to fly him over to St. Thomas with that 1 chaos marker. It's the only chaos marker on the forest track. So that uses up our helicopter. And we have 2 more actions left. And what I want to do for the first action is I want to have the Green Diamond security guards once again do some scavenging. Hopefully we can get a high number and get some ammunition. And nope, they don't find anything this time. With 1 action left, I will have the sheriff. Well, the sheriff will tell the civilians to forage. And the civilians, boy, they've just written him off. Sheriff who? They're not listening to him at all. Anyway, the sheriff is going to take a shot at these guys. So we have the super weapon. He's strength 5. So we're going to be strength 6 on the gunfire table. Now let's have a look and see what the sheriff can do to that zombie 9 strength zombie horse. And he rolls a 6. A 6 on the 6 gunfire table. We'll do 2 hits, which is good for us because with the super weapon they must retreat. And we're going to pick the strength 5 unit to take the 2 damage, and that whole zombie horde then has to back off 1 space. And one final thing is because Doc Seaver was up here at St. Thomas, this chaos marker is removed at the end of the action phase, which is now. And his special ability is he reduces the infection level by 2 when he restores order in a chaos space. So our infection level now is at 2. And that, I believe, is the end of all things for this turn. Join me next time for turn 33.